KOSP, Brookline, Springfield. It's time for the starting lineup with Scott Purdy, Ed Reynolds, and Art Haynes on 102.1 The One. Always the sure bet.
And it is great to have you with us on the starting lineup, and welcome back. Great second half in store for you folks, so we're delighted to have you with us. Starting lineup brought to you by Play It Again Sports. Fremont Shopping Center, Battlefield and Fremont Springfield, Swing Right Golf at the south end of Campbell Avenue, a little bit north of Nixa. Marshfield Chevrolet, I-44 exit, and on the north side, the North Outer Road, you'll see Marshfield Chevrolet. And Citizens Bank of Rogersville with two locales, one adjacent to Highland Springs and the other in Rogersville itself. Ned Reynolds along with
Scott Purrier
and Art Haynes.
Good morning, Arthur.
Are you off mic, Scott?
No. Why?
Okay, you kind of sound distant.
Well, I'm just being distant with you right now, Art. That's it.
Okay.
I'm actually being distant with Keith Guttin because we're at a little bit of a standoff, Coach G and I, because, we're trying to get him to use the StreamYard link for the first time, and he says, call me usually. So we're going to see who flinches first, and I'm going to give about 3 minutes, and then I'm probably going to have to flinch and call him. But
let's just give him back. He's, Keith is getting up there, same with I am. I'm really reluctant to use these things because it's new, and it's sometimes a little hard to figure out which button to push and all that sort of thing. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's a link. You click it, you're on.
Yeah, but
right,
you see,
Art figured it out, right?
It is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, for you young guys, it is.
He's fighting technology, and I'm going to have to bow down and dial the phone and get him on unless in the next couple minutes. But Art had your weekend in Kansas City extended so you could stay for the home opener yesterday. Kind of set the scene for us at Kauffman Stadium with 39,000 of your closest friends.
Well, festive day, it always is. 89 degrees, the hottest opening day ever. Ned would love that.
I would have.
It was a little toasty for me, but no, it was a great day. I mean, not very much in the way of offense, but enough. Royals hit 2 home runs, and the Twins hit 1 solo, and the Royals pitching was just immaculate. Chris Bubich was outstanding, and then the bullpen took over, and Matt Strom and Lucas Erceg, the 2 best back-end relievers, were not available yesterday, so they had to go in another direction, and it worked.
In sitting there watching the game, Art, could you notice the architectural moves with the fences moving in? Yeah. Could you see where it happened? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. You can. I don't think it really came into play yesterday as far as balls going out that wouldn't have before, but it's certainly that will happen.
What kind of and how would you describe this celebratory move did the crowd have? This is almost 40,000 in there. What was their reactions?
Oh yeah, very very reactive, and again, it wasn't a real scintillating game, but they were reacting to things and. It was good. It was a great atmosphere.
Now, like most major league teams, the Royals take tonight off to allow for what didn't happen, but what would have been a rainout. So they'll resume again on Wednesday. What did you think of the Twins? Are they a contender?
No. Oh, no. No, I mean, Brian Buxton is a great player, and the Royals did a good job on him. And, they've got some guys. Matt Wallner, he had a home run. Trevor Lornick. But no, that's not a contender at all.
Well, from what you can see in the early going, and the Royals, they've won some, lost a couple down in Atlanta. What do you see about this team, and are you optimistic that this is going to be a playoff team?
Yeah, I am. A lot like last year and the year before. Don't score a lot of runs, have great pitching. And, they scored 4 runs yesterday, and with their pitching, you ought to win with 4 runs. But that was the Twins, so we'll see against better opponents. But, yeah, very much like those past – I mean, they've got a stack of bullpen guys that are good, Emilio Estevez notwithstanding. I think they've made up an injury for him. He injures the team's chances to win when he's in there.
Were you a little nervous?
He's lost a lot of velocity off his fastball and just can't fool people. But Erceg is more suited, I think.
Sure.
I've thought that all along to being a closer.
Were you nervous that Ursig had been used 2 days in a row and was unavailable yesterday to finish that one off?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were speculating who was going to pitch, and ended up being John Schreiber in the ninth. And he's usually about a sixth-inning guy, but he got the job done.
All righty, we're awaiting Coach Guttin. Art, as we're doing so, women's Final Four is set. Two of the most boring games you'd ever see last night. Parity on the women's side is clearly dead, is it not?
Well, it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, it has been.
I mean, you got 3 or 4 teams that are really good, and they're in the Final Four, and then there's a big drop-off.
Now, Scott made a very interesting observation prior to that. He found that the ladies' games all up to this, and not just those 4 teams, but others, were so lopsided as to be boring and really not generating any kind of excitement at all. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got home late last night and switched over, and it's a 21-point game with TCU and South Carolina, so I quickly switched off. But now, the Final Four, you've got 4 really powerhouse teams.
I was looking at the odds that have been posted on, especially I was looking for the South Carolina-Connecticut game, and the odds makers have Connecticut as a 6.5-point favorite. I cannot buy that at all. I'll take the points and go with South Carolina. Not that they're going to win, but I think it'll be a very close game. What are your thoughts?
I don't.
You think they'll run them out?
South Carolina is not as good this year. I think UConn will win that easily. The other game, Texas, UCLA, that'll be interesting.
Heavyweight fight right there.
Texas is really good. And, I mean, whichever team wins has got a chance against UConn.
Well, Texas especially, because they have the old coach in there who ended Gino Auriemma's 111-game winning streak. And that in and of itself, I think, makes it very interesting. But in regards to that, you got to get there first. I think South Carolina gives Connecticut a pretty good little battle. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Do we have a man there yet?
I think we have our guy. We have him audio-wise. We had him on video there just for a second, but we welcome in Coach Keith Guttin. Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear, all good.
There he is. Look at that smiling face on our camera. Coach Guttin.
Hopefully not on the camera to the audience.
Oh, yeah. Well, we might take a little clip or two from this. You know, we did Joey one time when he was walking.
I haven't had time to put my makeup on, Scott.
Well, the hair's looking really good this morning, too, by the way. Yeah.
All 6 of them.
All 6 of them. Well, big night over at Hammons Field, the Bears and the Hogs. In your career, kind of tell us, did that game always kind of just maybe amp up things just a little bit more for you and your staff and not let alone the team?
Well, it's not something that you even need to talk about with the team. They recognize you're playing a nationally prominent program that's a couple hours away. It's exciting. It's one of the things, you know, after you're done, you probably look back and go, man, that was good competition. I enjoyed going down to their great facility, and getting them back here was really neat. So these are the type of games, when you're at Missouri State, you really cherish.
Did it take a while to get DVH to buy in to make it a home and home? Because, you know, powers like that to play an SEC schedule, they're not necessarily looking for tough midweek games.
Well, I don't know about tough, but I think they only play a couple of non-league midweek games on the road, maybe just one, honestly. And, you know, we've had times where we've gone down there, starting with Norm DeBryan, who had a close relationship. His son played here. Coach Rowe had a good relationship with Norm. So they've come here off and on for many, many years. Sometimes it's been rotating years. Sometimes it's been home and home in the same years. But obviously for us, it's a great series to have. And, you know, I said this on another show yesterday. They don't have to come here. You know, Josh Holliday, Dave Van Horn, they don't have to come here. They choose to do it, and we appreciate it. And I know our fans are excited about games like this.
How much of that allegiance from those other teams that do not have to come here has to do with the foundations that you and Coach Rowe set up in early years?
Well, I think there's a couple things there, Ned. It's, you know, particularly this year with the club Joey has, I mean, our RPI is going to help anybody playing us right now. I was talking to Ole Miss grad yesterday and basically said best thing they have on their resume is the 3 games they beat Missouri State. Mm-hmm. But having a top-notch facility is one thing. Proximity, where, that's Fayetteville's 2 hours and 20 minutes, that helps. And again, if they want to be able to say it's a good win as well, if they get the win, certainly for us it would be on our side.
Keith Van Horn is certainly an assertive personality, maybe along the Gene Stevenson route, but he's got to grudgingly have a lot of respect for Missouri State, the way the Bears compete with them and beat them more often than not.
I think people mistake what happens during the game from what happens away from the field. And, Nate Thompson, a close friend, was with us for 3 years. I've known Matt Hobbs, the pitching guy. He was at Missouri. This is not like there's animosity away from the field. Even with Gene, as much as Gene is Gene, away from the field in the meetings, it's fine. Just get on the field and both teams want to win.
If people judged you on your 5th inning interview at Oklahoma State that one year on TV, that wouldn't be very nice either, would it?
I think it was Oregon State, by the way.
Oregon State, yeah.
He told me he had 2 questions. I answered them both. I didn't sign on for a 3rd question.
Do you find yourself looking back now as maybe the Danny Hurley of college baseball back in your day?
Well, we were in a different financial stratosphere.
Hey, wanted to ask you, and one of the main reasons we wanted to bring you on is tonight, Marty Prather tribute night over at Hammons Field, and kind of talk about just what Marty meant to you, not only your baseball program, but as a friend, and how that relationship started.
I once told Marty that he was more about the people than he was the score. That's rare in this day and age in sports. He just cared about people. I mean, it wasn't just the baseball program. It wasn't just football and basketball. He helped many of our sports, women's sports, non-revenue sports. He did it behind the scenes. He enjoyed the give and take. I mean, Marty was a guy you could chop it up with, give him hell and tease him, and he'd give it right back. But, yeah, now, and I think Karen wants to continue his legacy and stay involved in helping programs all over and he just didn't. Missouri State was not his only team. I mean, where his daughter went to school, he supported a lot of people in the community. Yes, it was good for business, but that's not why Marty did it.
No, you make a very good point, Keith, a very cogent point indeed. The guy cared, and that's an entity in life that I'm afraid we're not really embracing anymore these days. He gave a damn about individuals and did a lot of it, as you just pointed out, behind the scenes. He's very much a beneficiary to many individuals, and he used the signs as his conduit to getting that done. I really had a lot of respect for the guy. He's very, very...
The only time I think he ever got mad at me was either, I don't know whether we were playing a softball game or what it was, and I told him he looked like Tommy Lasorda in his uniform. And he kind of looked at me, and I think he started losing weight after that, to be honest. I motivated him.
Arthur?
Yeah, he was a proud guy, and proud of Missouri State, proud of the Ohio State, which he did not attend, but he was a native Ohioan, and all his he was a provocateur, I'd say. Wearing a Tigger outfit to a Cleveland Browns game,
yep.
And carrying signs to Wrigley Field for Cardinals, and some of those signs went over the edge of Wrigley Field.
I was
away
with
from
him
the
at
Cubs
Wrigley
fan.
Field. So I was in Chicago recruiting. This has probably been 20 years ago, and he knew I was in Chicago recruiting. The Cardinals were in Chicago. He calls me up, and my game was at night. He said, "Hey, they got a day game. Meet me over there." I went with Marty to Wrigley Field, sat in the bleachers with him. And it was a little warm, but we had a shower, and it wasn't water.
What was your first recollection of meeting him and striking up that friendship and partnership?
I honestly don't remember. I don't know. It just kind of happened. He was always around, and he would come. He came to Price Cutter a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, he and Mark West and others. We're talking way back early 2000. I don't remember him at Meadow Park, but I do remember him very clearly at Price Cutter, and he drove. I think he was in Columbus. Yeah, he was in Columbus for the Super in 03. He definitely was in Omaha, and just a guy, no matter what the score is, you could count on Marty Prather.
And it was not just Springfield. Now, that's with whom he identified the closest, but the St. Louis Cardinals. And as Keith just pointed out, at Wrigley Field, he had no qualms at all. In fact, he absolutely loved going to Wrigley Field and taking the jeers from the crowd, which was all good-natured, of course.
I would tell you that besides his marriage and the birth of his daughter and his grandchild, that maybe the best day of his life was when we had Ozzie Smith come to Springfield for our Step Up to the Plate event. And Marty said, if you can get Ozzie to come to my house and sign my wall in that unbelievable basement, I will give you a little bonus, Coach. I said, all right, let me see what I can do. Ozzie went to the house, spent time with Marty and Karen, signed, and they had a relationship. They were friends. Signed the wall, and I guess a year or so later, Cardinal Insider, which Ozzie's one of the hosts, came back, filmed their episode at Marty's house with Ozzie. So
yeah, wow.
But he had that, he had that kind of relationship with a lot of pro guys. He loved the Cardinals, and he loved Ohio State, and he loved Missouri State.
Well, the thing that, to me, really shows his caring about other people, I mean, he would just look for things that somebody might like. And the last time I saw him, less than a month before he passed, he came to my house and brought an autographed SMU helmet with Eric Dickerson, Craig James, Lance McElhenney. It's one of my prized possessions. He looks on eBay for things and scoops them up, I guess. But he just thought that something would really be special to me. And it's one of my prized possessions. I mean, what a unbelievable just act of kindness.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I've got a book on our coffee table still, Bob Stoops, that he bought me last summer and brought to me. Just as you said, just because he knew I liked OU and OU football, and that thing's going to stay on that coffee table forever too. But hey, Keith, did you have a favorite sign of his that really stuck out in your mind during your career?
I think the one where he said the university north of us and kind of in the central part of the state had the billboards, but we had the scoreboard.
Oh, that is good, yeah. Hey, before we let you go, kind of your thoughts on the weekend with Dallas Baptist, and really how important is tonight's game to get this one at home before you go down to Fayetteville here in about 3 weeks?
Well, Joey spoke at Leadoff Club a week ago yesterday and said we've got Oklahoma State, 3 with DBU, and 1 with Arkansas. So obviously 5 games that would impact the direction of your season and the potential RPI going forward. And right now they're 2-2 in those games. So you win tonight, you come out of that 3-2. We played good in stretches down there. Saturday we played a great game. Sunday we had the lead, and our bullpen, which has been the strength of the pitching staff, didn't hold up really for the first time. Friday we got a bad first inning, but we went from 5 in the RPI, and after the first game went to 11. After the second game we we went to 10. Then we went to I got it backward. I'm sorry. So first game we lost, went from 5 to 11. We won the second game, went from 11 to 10. Lost the third game, stayed at 10. So I think that just talks to the strength of the schedule that Joey put together, which the strength of schedule is 12. Now you're talking about 12 out of 308 schedules in the country. So they built that pre-conference schedule in RPI, just need to continue to have success the rest of the way, and hopefully they put themselves in a good position.
Very good. Well, Keith, we appreciate your time. We're elated that you've embraced technology today with the stream.
I like it. Like it.
It is. It's kind of fun, and we'll use this going forward. But enjoy your broadcast with Corey tonight. Enjoy seeing the Prather family and friends. It should be a fun night at the old ballpark.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You bet.
Keith Guttin, longtime coach at Missouri State University, visiting with us. We'll take a time out on the starting lineup and be right back.
You're listening to the starting lineup with Scott Puryear, Ned Reynolds, and Art Haynes on 102.1 The One.